This is Sam. Sam is an average freshman in high school. Sam is a vertebrate, and like all vertebrates, Sam has a brain. Today, we're going to follow him around and observe how he uses his brain throughout the day. Now, some of you may not know what a brain is. No worries. Before we talk about what the brain does, let's talk about what the brain is. The brain is a large structure composed of nervous tissue in your cranial cavity. The brain is part of the central nervous system and is the control center of the body. The brain is divided into two hemispheres, the right and the left. The brain is divided into four main parts: the cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, and limbic system. We will go into more detail about these individual systems later. The brain is composed of about 100 billion nerve cells, or neurons. The neurons have two parts, a receiving end, called a dendrite, that receives chemical signals from axons, the sending end of the neuron. A synapse is the place where two neurons connect. These communications are controlled by sodium-potassium pumps. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It is divided into four main parts: the frontal lobe, occipital lobe, parietal lobe, and temporal lobe. The frontal lobe is located at the front of the brain. Sam is using his frontal lobe to go about his morning routine. The frontal lobe stores memory for habits and motor activities. Sam's habit of washing his face in the morning is stored in his frontal lobe. The frontal lobe gives Sam awareness of his environment and lets him make judgments and decisions, such as what he will have for breakfast, and also controls his language and speaking. If the frontal lobe does not function properly, this can lead to difficulty planning events, loss of focus, mood changes, and other behavioral issues.
Sick for days, so many ways. I'm aching now. It's times like these, I need relief. Please show me how.
Taste is processed by the temporal lobe, while smell is processed by the parietal lobe. This is why Sam is able to taste the orange juice in the cereal. We'll talk about these two lobes later. Here's a look through the eyes of Sam. Sam is on the couch watching television. He is looking at the TV and around at his surroundings. Light is entering his eyes and being sent to his retinas, which is then sent to his optic nerve. The optic nerve then leads to the back of his brain, which is his occipital lobe. The occipital lobe is the smallest lobe of the brain because it is specialized in responding to visual stimuli and processing what Sam sees through his eyes. Trauma to the back of the head damages the occipital lobe. It can lead to blindness, problems detecting movement and color, and reading. Dyslexia is the inability to identify words. This is related to the occipital lobe. Every day, Sam goes outside to play basketball. He aspires to play in the NBA one day, but he needs some work. The parietal lobe is located on the sides of the brain. This lobe of the brain receives stimuli from touch and allows Sam to keep his attention on one thing, the basketball. The parietal lobe also controls voluntary muscle movements, but isn't able to coordinate them. It only controls movement. The cerebellum is a small structure near the brainstem. It looks like a small brain. The cerebellum has multiple functions, such as motor control, muscle coordination, control of heartbeat and other autonomic functions, and maintaining equilibrium. The cerebellum controls the body's most basic and essential functions. Scientists have hypothesized that the cerebrum, which allows a higher level of thinking, is an evolution of the cerebellum. so Sam's parietal lobe, cerebellum, nervous, and muscular systems all work together to move Sam around, coordinate his movements, and keep him aware of his surroundings. Another job of the parietal lobe is to process changes in temperature, pressure, and pain.
Take some pro wings, make them cool, sell those. Sneakerhead to be like, oh, he got the Velcro. Some tags, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is my son. I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket.
After a hard workout, Sam enjoys putting on his headphones and listening to music. Unfortunately, when Sam listens to music, he cannot hear the things in his environment. The music from his headphones vibrates his eardrum, which then vibrates the bones in his ears. These vibrations are processed by his temporal lobe, which is located on the ventral side of the brain. But since Sam's headphones block out the car behind him, he continues to walk down the street oblivious. But processing sounds is not the only function of the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe also stores memories. This includes past events, names, facts, and recognizes voices and faces. Disorders of the temporal lobe include short-term memory loss, the inability to understand words, identify objects, and categorize objects. This is an old friend of Sam's, but Sam does not remember him. His temporal lobe is having trouble identifying who this is, leaving him confused of why this person is talking to him. When Sam isn't playing basketball, he passes the time watching videos on the internet. The limbic system is located inside the brain, underneath the cerebrum. It allows the creation of long-term memories, controls behavior, and emotions.
Never let go, Jack.
The hypothalamus is the specific structure in the limbic system that controls emotion. Without it, Sam would have no emotions and would not react to the videos he watches.
Loser.
Sam has had quite a day. He's feeling a bit tired, so he's going to get to bed. The reason Sam feels so tired is because his pineal gland in his brain is running his biological clock. It senses night is approaching, so it releases melatonin, the hormone which gives you that tired feeling. As Sam falls asleep, his brainstem maintains his body's autonomic functions. The brainstem is divided into two parts, the pons and the medulla. The pons receives information from sensory organs and sends it to the brain. The medulla maintains autonomic functions in the body, such as heartbeat and breathing. Without his brainstem, Sam would die in his sleep. Fortunately, this is not the case. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.